All right, welcome back to DQP Does the MCU. We are going to be doing a wrap-up of the Infinity Saga, the first three phases of the MCU, and we are going to look forward to everything that was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, mostly Phase 4 stuff. There were some things confirmed beyond that, but we're going to do a little wrap-up first, and then we're going to have some questions from a couple of fans. So let's get into this. I wrote down some questions for everybody, just to kind of get the juices flowing on this. So I'm going to ask everybody what their top 5 movies from the first 3 phases were. Nathan, go ahead.
Thanks for the introduction.
No, fuck you.
Furthermore, I don't believe in wrapping it up. So let's continue. So you want to talk about the top 5? Okay.
Top 5. Let's do a top 5.
All right. Well, Winter Soldier's number 1.
Okay.
Then the first Avenger. So Captain
Okay.
America is number 2. Then Iron Man, and both Guardians movies.
Okay. Russell?
All right, I got Winter Soldier. So I did mine off my top 5 scores across the podcasts. Number 1 being Winter Soldier, it got 9.9. Number 2 is Iron Man, 9.5. Homecoming, 9.5. Avengers, 9.5. And I currently place Endgame on here as a 9.5 and in my top 5 as number 5. But I'm curious to see if it stays there after watching it again.
Yeah.
Because I've currently, at this point in time, I've only watched it the one time. And the more I think about it, the more I wonder how much I was fanboying.
Right.
Which there's not anything wrong with, but...
Yeah, it was the
Trying
first
to
time we
watch-
watched it.
Yeah, trying to watch something objectively.
Yeah.
And then I have an honorable mention, which is Doctor Strange, because it also had a 9.5.
He just does whatever he wants.
So do I.
Yeah. All right, my top 5. Winter Soldier was the top for all of us, right? I mean, we all loved that movie.
Oh,
I had Thor 1 on there, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Civil War, and Endgame. So about that, I thought those were the top 5 as far as my ratings, but Civil War would have dropped like 2 spaces out of the top 5, replaced by Spider-Man, and I don't remember what the other one was. But and Endgame, I agree with Russell. I think when I watch it on video, DVD, Blu-ray, I'm like for fucking...
We're going to get a VHS.
Yeah, we're going to get
And
3
we're going to get
VHSs
a
of it.
VCR. Yeah. You got to rewind that shit.
But when I watch it again, I think it's going to drop as far as the score that I gave it. But I don't think I will ever see another movie that makes me pop as much as that movie did. Because like there were scenes in that movie that just I almost lost my shit. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen again. It didn't happen in any of the other movies. There were like some good scenes and stuff, but there were scenes in that movie where I was just, shit myself. So
Now, do you think it added to the fact that we were all there, we were all watching Endgame
well, yeah.
together?
I mean, the theater experience plus having like your friends with you makes it a little different than like watching it by yourself in your house. Like, So I think that's part of the reason that we want to do these revisits. But I do think that one's going to change. But I don't know how much that had to do with that pop, because like it was literally just everything that I'd ever wanted in a comic book movie.
Okay.
So as far as those couple parts went.
I got you.
All right, so we did the top 5. Let's do the worst movie that is not Hulk, because I know we would have all agreed that Hulk was the worst in the MCU. I'm gonna say it's Thor 2: Dark World. In my opinion, I think that movie was supremely fucked up. Like it could have been in the top 5 if it was done right. But I mean, I think all these movies, if they were done right, could have been in the top 5 because they all had potential. You know, they were fucked up in one way or another, in our opinions.
Not Ant-Man though.
You don't think you could have loved Ant-Man?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, like, you don't know because, like, it could have been done better.
No, no, I couldn't have.
Never would have made. You would have just made all
there
the
were
top
two,
5.
There were too
like
many
Captain
in front
America.
of it. Yeah, Captain America's number 1.
2 and 3.
That's America's ass. That's all. I'm not going to say that's Nathan's ass, but it just got said on accident.
Yeah.
Because I do it for the pops. And Chris Evans, if you're listening, yeah.
He pops
whatever.
for your ass.
I do it for the zingers.
All right.
That's what Doug says.
So is your pick Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Least favorite?
No.
Yeah, at least favorite.
No, I'm
What's your
saying
pick?
as far as like being in the top 5, I don't think Ant-Man would have make it. No.
He was commenting
Oh,
on
okay.
least
everything
favorite
having the
MCU
potential.
movie is Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah. For reasons that I explained in that podcast.
Right.
And I don't really want to cover it again.
We don't need to have a
love
whole
Iron
other
Man.
Yeah.
podcast
And
about it.
I love Iron Man, but
These are
that
quick
particular
questions.
one I didn't. It didn't.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I don't.
I wanted it to.
Yeah. There
Because
was
Robert Downey's like right below Chris Evans for me.
Yeah, there was definitely, like I said, there was potential in all these movies to be really amazing, and some of them missed the mark. So I think that was one of them that missed the mark quite a bit. But I think Thor 2 was worse.
No, and that's fine because I get where you're going with that too.
Yeah.
Because we experienced all this together, guys.
Yeah, Russell.
So you bring up potential, which is actually perfect because I agree with you that Dark World had a ton of potential to be one of the best movies in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
A movie that I can look at and see almost not see that kind of potential with is actually Iron Man 2. So I can't even envision that movie as something I would put in my top 5. It is my least favorite outside of Hulk. Honestly, I might even be more open to rewatching Hulk again than I would be Iron Man 2.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's gonna be my pick.
Yeah, he fucking hates that one apparently.
It also, if you think about it, though,
is it Mickey Rourke?
Mickey Rourke has
everything.
a lot of potential, but he, we cover the whys in Iron Man 2. So if you haven't listened to that one yet.
Yeah.
Go check out Iron Man 3, check out Iron Man 2, check out Dark World, listen to Shane.
Yeah,
but
rewatch them. Fuck it.
just
you're not
go back.
doing anything.
Go back and watch them again.
Yeah. Go back and watch them all again.
and then listen to us.
Yeah.
Again. But if you look at my top 5, aside from Winter Soldier, so Iron Man, Homecoming, Avengers, Endgame, Tony plays a heavy role in all of those movies. So my least favorite also being what I think is the worst movie that Tony is in.
Yeah.
Is probably has a lot to do with it because I just have such a expectation out of it. So
yeah, you were disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So favorite and least favorite Stan Lee cameo. Go ahead.
Okay.
Nathan.
Favorite's Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Least favorite's Endgame.
Okay. Russell.
My second favorite is Captain Marvel, but my favorite is Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's also a very good one. Do you have a least favorite?
Oh, my least favorite's also Endgame.
Yeah, my favorite's going to be Captain Marvel because it is attached to the best Stan Lee cameo in anything ever. And my least favorite is Endgame, but it's tied with Ragnarok.
Yeah.
For reasons that I went into ridiculous amount of depth in the Ragnarok podcast. So we're not going to get into that. And then what's your guys' favorite phase, Russell?
Phase 1.
Are you going to say phase 1 as well, Nathan?
Yeah, I'm probably going to say phase 1.
Yeah, we all said phase 1.
It's the beginning.
Yeah. I think
it is what it is.
That was such a big deal, those movies coming out and being interconnected and stuff. Like, it's a huge deal to everyone now, but to us, like, since, I mean, you're not so much a comic book nerd, Nathan, but like...
I am not. I'm sorry.
But, like, you like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and a point I wanted to touch on while we're here, Phase 1 did something that hadn't really been done before. And I know now there's a lot of shit thrown at Disney for these big Hollywood blockbusters.
Right.
And people being like, well, if you didn't have these, you're taking money away from these smaller movies that people were going to theaters and watching, except for they fucking weren't.
Yeah.
Like, theaters were about to die.
Yeah.
Like, we were about to lose theaters.
Yeah.
And then Disney came in, well, not Disney, but Marvel Studios came in and was like, hey, we're going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And the reason theaters ate it up so much is because they hadn't seen that kind of money since, like, the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a good 6-7 year gap where theaters are just bleeding money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about why everything is so expensive at a theater now, because it has to be, or they're not going to survive.
Yeah, concessions. Like, they make a shit ton of money off concessions because a bag of popcorn is like 25 cents and they can sell it. They can make $4 or $5 off of every person that buys some.
Right.
But, you know, that we during our time, we witnessed what was slowly becoming the downfall of the theater.
Yeah.
And then for these big blockbuster movies to come in
And revitalize it.
Yeah. But now they're getting blamed
for ruining everything.
Yeah. But it was already ruined. It was already happening.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened to a Nickelodeon where I could go watch a movie for 25 cents? Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Right. Shit's gonna change.
Yeah. Well,
I
mean,
can't imagine what's gonna happen when all the streaming services and shit fail because they're all like separating themselves and shit, and like all these companies have all these problems.
Are they gonna fail?
Well, they might.
Or is cable gonna fail?
Well, cable's gonna die, but it might come back. We talked about this earlier, and I'm not so hesitant to talk about it now because Russell told me that I was about a year late. But it's just gonna become cable again. Somebody's gonna come around and be like, "Hey, I'm an aggregate for all these streaming services, and you can pay me $100 a month and get access to these 25 streaming services." Hey, what's that sound like?
Cable?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I think what we're going to see is Disney Plus is going to be a huge success. I'm unsure what's going to happen with Netflix. I've had Netflix since like 2009.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to see them fail.
Right.
But like if they don't start putting together properties, then they're going to have issues.
Yeah. I think a big thing with them is like they're so start and stop because they'll put something out that's super popular, but everybody only watches it once. Right? So like they get all these ridiculous streaming numbers for like a month because everybody's got to watch it, and not everybody watches it the night it comes out.
Right.
You know, or the weekend it comes out if it's a series, you know, a season of a series or whatever. But they get these huge streaming numbers, and that's what everybody sees. But, you know, in between there, is everybody watching The Office again? That's not going to be there in, 2 years?
Right. They're going to have to adapt.
Yeah.
And
Done.
I think the way they do that
is their own original content. They have to pack their lineup with original content, which they're starting to do, but some of it is not good.
Yeah, but they also need to back off on the full season releases, I think, because I think they need to go down. I think what they should do is they should
become cable.
No.
Yeah.
You should 4 episodes every quarter. So you have a business that's ran quarterly.
Right.
Why aren't your series released quarterly? Because what happens is you have a show like Stranger Things who goes a full year before another season's come out. But we just binge watched the shit out of that all on a weekend.
Right.
There's no reason for us to get back on Netflix and watch Stranger Things unless we're going to rewatch it, which, come on. We're not going to do that probably till the next season's about to come up.
Right.
Unless you guys want us to.
Yeah.
And feel free to email us.
Feel free to email
We'll do
us.
it.
Tweet us.
Yeah.
Go ahead and plug those now. DQ or Drafty Quarter or Drafty Q. I don't know any of this stuff. DraftyQ at Gmail.
I need to text Doug
at
and get him over
DraftyQ.
here to plug this stuff in.
on Twitter. Jesus Christ.
We save plugs for the end, man.
Well, we talked about fucking sending us stuff, so.
I know.
And we're going to get to that in a minute because after this next question, we're going to get to some questions from the fans. But first, before we get to this next question, I asked Cassie all these questions before we told her to get the fuck out of here because we were recording a podcast.
Not nice.
I asked her if she wanted to be on it, and she said no. I've been on the last 3, so whatever.
She didn't realize she's a cornerstone of it now.
Yeah, she has her own
Yeah.
fucking show. She can be on the podcast that has, like, I guess Russell doesn't have his own show yet. But
Russell's all the shows,
yeah,
dude.
but he's on all the shows, so it doesn't fucking matter, right?
Like, we're all cornerstones, but Russell's the fucking foundation.
Yeah, he's the
It's the
foundation.
best compliment I've ever
You
given
guys
him.
are gonna make me blush.
No. So Cassie, her top 5 was the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Iron Man 3, Doctor Strange, and Endgame. Her worst other than Hulk was Winter Soldier because fuck us. Her favorite Stan Lee cameo was Captain Marvel. She couldn't remember all of them, so she didn't have a least favorite, and her favorite phase was Phase 3. So for the last question, I wanted to ask you guys, did you have some just really standout moments from the entirety of the first 3 phases? Nathan.
Oh, man.
I have a list
Like,
already for mine.
All right, yeah.
So if you want me to go.
And a lot of them are going to be similar.
Probably.
We've already
Probably,
talked about. Okay. When Captain America tried to move Mjolnir in Age of Ultron.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
But it was more complete when he got it in Endgame
Yeah.
because I felt some excitement that I've never felt in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost tears of happiness coming out of my face. Like it was
I don't
sublime.
know where else tears of happiness would come from, but
I don't want to talk about my anatomy on the podcast.
Those aren't tears, and you don't cut to them.
And that's got to stay in because it's too funny.
Yeah.
So there's that. You know, there's anytime Thor reached out. I think maybe I just love Mjolnir. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe
we're-
that's my favorite character.
We're
Shit.
all Mew Mew fans,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, Kat Dennings. Yeah, any scene she was in Scarlet Johansson.
Keep going.
Whoa, I got to
anyway.
keep going about movies. No, just there's so much good stuff in those movies and
Yeah.
just like heartwarming moments that
Right.
I can't think of any more.
Okay, so the ones I wrote down just off the top of my head when I was writing this shit out. Again, Thor getting back Mjolnir in Thor 1.
Yeah.
Huge moment. Fantastic moment. The armor going on and everything, and like, you know, Natalie Portman's reaction when he comes over. She's like, it's a good look. You know, that was all awesome. Again, the Cap getting Mjolnir in Endgame. Similarly, right after that in Endgame, the On Your Left piece where everyone came out of the fucking portals.
Yes.
So good.
Good callback.
Oh my
Really
god,
good.
so good. And then I don't know why these are the 2 things that I popped almost as much for as the Endgame stuff. Every time they played the chain in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and every time they played the Immigrant Song in Ragnarok. Just I died. Like I'm a huge music person.
Yep.
So when they play like a song that I like and it fits the fucking movie and it's just fucking awesome, I lose my shit. So when they did it twice in both of those movies and it worked and it wasn't redundant, awesome.
Yeah. Those are all really good moments, and something I don't think you've done yet, but since you just touched on being a really big music person.
Yeah.
Why are you such a big music person, Shane? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
We're not allowed to talk about that,
Yeah,
I thought.
Thought we couldn't talk about that kind of stuff.
Why
Yeah.
not? Wait, what?
Go ahead and talk about it. I mean,
I stroke my dick. What do you?
Shane plays in a band.
by himself with his dick.
Yeah.
we went over that.
Never mind. I was trying to get you to plug it, but
Oh, well, I'm in a band. It's called Only Human. Check them out. We're on Facebook and stuff.
Hey, wait. When does this come out?
Should come out tomorrow.
Oh. You should tell him about the thing.
Oh, the Shakedown?
Yeah, shake it down for
The
him.
Shakedown 5. It's on August 16th at the Wildcat Preservation Club, I think. That's what it's called.
yeah.
On August 16th and 17th. It's a punk and metal show.
Yeah.
And art show. And there might be people playing acoustics. I don't know if that was on there this year or not. We've had that before, but
I didn't see it on the thing. And if you show up, Shane will sign you.
only in appropriate places.
There you go. Now it's a good plug.
All right, that was more awkward than I planned on it being.
Your favorite moments,
so
Russell?
My favorite moments.
Other than what just happened.
Yeah. So the Age of Ultron scene where everyone's playing with the hammer and then Cap wielding the hammer is on my list as well. Because it's one of, I think, the best foreshadowing and callback moments in the entire series.
It's just such a big payoff.
Yeah.
And it's an iconic moment from comic books. Like he's wielded Mjolnir a couple times, and it's always a great moment anyway. So when they did it in the movies and they were building to it for like 6 years or whatever, when did fucking Age of Ultron come out?
14.
So 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a pretty long con to build that one scene up.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great. So it has to be on my favorite moments list. Just both moments, and each of those makes the other moment even better.
2015.
So my next favorite scene is in Guardians of the Galaxy.
The first one?
The first one. So the entire movie plays out, and it's an emotional ride, and you get to the last scene, and it's been built up to this where Star-Lord finally has to face Ronan.
Yeah. And
he's just like it's this intense moment, and Ronan's like ready to throw down, and Star-Lord's just like, dance off. And it's one of my favorite moments because interjecting that amount of comedy right there in that moment and just kind of out of nowhere is hard to do.
Right.
But
they pulled it off.
They pulled it off. Chris Pratt pulled it off. The reactions from the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Because that's also what makes it great, too, because literally everyone is like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, what is happening right now? I kind of want that to have been, like, ad-libbed. Like, there was supposed to be this huge fight scene, and he's just like, dance off. And the directors were like, keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
And
keep going.
Lee Pace is actually annoyed because he's
like actually
ultra
pissed off.
Professional.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt's just like, hey.
No, you don't want to take it? All right, brought it back. I want to add one to my list because it's from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when they fucking incinerate Yondu and all the Ravagers come back.
Yeah.
Because that
is a really good scene, too.
Yeah, before Endgame, that was the fucking tearjerker in the MCU.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. So I got 2 moments left. Spider-Man saving Vulture. This makes my list because this is like the first time in the MCU that we have an actual, well, not actual, but like a really large heroic moment.
Right.
That the hero is actually better than the villain. Because a lot of our heroes just let these bad guys die.
Right.
Or kill them themselves.
Yeah, that's something that we've talked about throughout and that we talked about in the Spider-Man podcast where like this was the first time where that was kind of addressed.
Yeah, so huge hero moment, got to make the list. And then my all-time favorite moment, which is tied to another moment, is the end of Iron Man 1 when he says, I am Iron Man. And then bringing it back 11 years later.
Yes.
For damn near his last line. Damn near, it isn't, but damn near. When he's fighting Thanos and he has the glove. And Thanos says, I am inevitable. And snaps, and then it cuts to Iron Man. And he's like, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
And this fucking snaps. And, so good.
All right. Okay. So those were our favorite moments. That's pretty much it for our recap. Some of these questions that we have from our fans might go back into this. So I have a few questions from our fan Zach. He hit us up on Facebook at Drafty Quarters Productions. He has 3 questions. His first question would be, what storyline do you wish they had done differently? And I feel like we've covered this a lot in all the podcasts. But a big one for me, and I'm not going to go into it a whole lot, but a big one for me is going to be Ronan. Because I feel like they ruined Ronan, and he could have been so much more. And I realize that they have so much material to work with, and they're, you know, I know it's a lot, but they're only doing, I say only, but they're only doing like 3 movies a year. So they have a lot of villains if they want to get a lot of villains in. So they don't necessarily have time to make one like that isn't a Thanos level go through like 3 or 4 movies. So I get that too. But we might get more of that with all the shows on Disney Plus. So we'll talk about that when we get to the Disney Plus stuff. What do you guys think?
I would have preferred them to do exactly what we talked about when we watched the Captain America First Avenger and expanded on the Howling Commandos a lot more, because they could have got a couple of movies out of that.
Yeah, that could have been at least 2 movies.
Well, I mean, what if they'd had made a trilogy out of it?
Right.
Really expanded on it, covered its ground.
Right.
You know, and then Winter Soldier would have just been its own thing.
Yeah, and I think it would have even made it. I think it would have made Winter Soldier better.
Oh,
if anything,
can you get higher than the top of the mountain?
Because you would have been so much more attached to Bucky when he died.
Yeah.
In the if you had a trilogy of Captain America movies, right? You would have been more attached to Bucky as Bucky, and then when he comes back in Winter Soldier, that would have made that movie even more emotionally impactful.
I don't know how I could have got any more attached to Bucky when I was super attached to Chris Evans and the whole Captain America character. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just
you kind of feel it vicariously through Cap.
Right.
Instead of like your own attachment to the character, and I get that. But I do agree that if we would have had more time with Bucky prior to death, especially if you wouldn't have announced that Sebastian Stan was coming back for Winter Soldier, and you actually surprise everyone in the theater with Bucky being there.
Oh my God.
I would have fucking died.
If we had walked into that movie and it was just like Captain America 4, and then it's like Captain America 4, Winter Soldier, when we like nobody knew that was the tagline, how much would you have shit your fucking pants?
I wouldn't have fucking known because I don't read the comics.
God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Russell?
Moving forward.
I really agree with Ronan. I think overall the thing I'm most disappointed about is
Say it.
Thanos.
Yep.
I was trying to think of something else to bitch about other than Thanos, but yeah, that's the storyline that I'm most upset about. We should have got Lady Death. We should have got Thanos being obsessed with her. We should have got that entire romance arc, because there's nothing better than a dark romance story in the backdrop of a superhero movie.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Especially when it's your villains.
I think we all agree on those 3, though, that like if those had been changed, that would have made everything better.
Yeah.
Wait. There's one thing they could have done, I think, that we can all agree upon.
Okay.
Defined how it really was Peter Quill's fault for the snap happening in the first place. And free Nebula of Russell's imprisonment of her wrongness.
Okay, so since you brought it up,
I used air quotes.
Oh, he's worked on his argument.
Okay.
Since you brought it up, I just wanted to clarify what I was trying to say was I thought that at that point Nebula was still a villain, and that Nebula was antagonizing Peter to react. I wasn't attempting to push blame onto Nebula, more so that she had nefarious purposes in the way that she was going about bringing up the information.
Well, in that case, you argued it very poorly.
I did.
And
it was very
we're going to move
argued. Anyway.
Zach's second question is, what storyline are you hoping that they decide to pursue going forward? I hope they do a fucking everything. I hope we start getting 10 movies a fucking year and 32 new series on Disney Plus. I don't give a shit. Employ everyone in the world, Disney. I want as as many movies and TV shows as there are fucking comic books. How about that?
And I would like a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, we can be on those shows too. Who cares?
Yeah.
We'll be the weird artist that makes everyone look like fat dudes.
Yeah.
And we can play, I don't know, who do you want to be?
Blunt Man.
Blunt Man and Chronic? That's not a Marvel book.
I want Russell to be Chronic.
I was going to be Cockknocker.
I didn't say your real life.
Oh.
All right, so anyway, an actual answer for this, for me, though, and I think we might get some of it.
Okay.
I want the God of Thunder run with Gore the God Butcher. It's basically kind of like a simultaneous time thing where they go back and forth between 3 different timelines. Young Thor in his Avenger age, and King Thor in the future. And they're all fighting the same guy, and they end up meeting up at the end of, in the future, and fighting Gore the God Butcher then. And he's the reason that Jane ends up getting the hammer in the comics, because he tells Thor that gods are not worthy, and basically, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. And later Nick Fury reminds him of what he said and says that he was right. And that's when he drops the hammer and becomes unworthy. So then eventually Jane ends up with the hammer. But that's the storyline I hope they do. That's way too much shit to fit into one movie and still have Natalie Portman get the hammer. I'm getting ahead of myself on the SDCC stuff, but
yeah,
I want this to happen, but I don't think it's going to anytime soon. Nathan, what storyline do you hope they pursue in the future?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I really want mutants.
Oh, yeah.
I want Marvel, Disney mutants. I want them done the way they need to be, the way they should be, and, I want some comic book accuracy with my mutants, too.
Yeah.
Okay, damn it. Like,
Thank
that's
you.
what I want.
Me too.
Yeah.
I want yellow spandex.
Fuck it. Yeah, me too.
Fuck
Yes.
it.
Yes. I
Give
want,
us the yellow
I want
spandex.
Gambit. I want all them guys you didn't see. I want Jubilee. I want them all.
Yeah, I want it to look like the 90s cartoon, basically, but like
Fuck
in live
yes.
action. Russell, what storyline do you hope they pursue in the future?
So I hope that we get either Secret Invasion or Annihilation. They've kind of alluded and also already kind of fucked up doing Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
But they could spin it into Annihilation, and I would probably be okay with that. Or I would also accept...
You're going to accept whatever they give you, but what would you like to see?
Yeah, I am going to accept whatever they give me. Disney, I am your bitch. You can have my money. At least it's not going to Fox. Oh wait.
God.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah, I really want to see either of those stories.
Okay.
I think those could play out really well, especially with the heroes they've already put in place.
Wait a minute. Disney owns The Simpsons?
Oh, fuck. Lisa is a Disney princess.
I don't know if that's accurate, because
Wait.
they did the TV stuff, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Does Disney own Family Guy?
No, Family Guy isn't.
I think that's licensed. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
different
licensed. Seth MacFarlane isn't going to let anyone own his properties.
Disney owns Seth MacFarlane?
That may be accurate. They let him own him, but not his properties.
Yeah.
So Zach had one last question and asked what our favorite storyline so far was. And I mean, like, that's kind of what's your favorite movie, sort of. But I'll take it a different way. What's my favorite plot line? And that's going to have to be the Cap Hammer thing. Through, like, 6 movies or whatever it was over the course of 4 years, building up to that.
Huh. Well, okay. This one has potential to still be done, and it's been done. That's what's weird about it. I loved when Captain America went back in time to be with Peggy.
Yeah.
They could still do this. They could still make this a movie where he changed small things in history and is just like a hidden superhero and still, weave it into the fabric of the MCU as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I like that whole storyline of it. And, because Cap's like my favorite hero.
Yeah, you like him getting what he wanted.
Yeah, and I really want to see the Falcon Captain America experience as well with the Winter Soldier.
Right.
That's kind of like
we're going to talk about
circle
that
back
bit.
to the first or the second question along with answering this one.
Yeah. All right. Russell?
So I have clarification. The Simpsons is owned by 20th Century Fox and Walt Disney, and Family Guy is also owned by Fox, so it's licensed to Adult Swim now.
So Meg's a Disney princess.
Meg and Lisa are a Disney princesses.
What the fuck?
Because I was looking that up, I missed the question.
What was your favorite storyline so far? Not necessarily like a movie, then,
right?
Like more of like a plot line
that
like maybe sketched across several movies, or maybe it was just like a subplot.
I feel like this could just stay in. I'm out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep. All right, so I'm going to have to pick Agent Coulson. And I know, like, at times he's used as a plot device, but I honestly do feel like he is his own plot line throughout Phase 1. And he is like the cohesion that brings it together.
Yeah.
So he ties each movie together, right? But then he dies.
Brings the Avengers together.
So that's probably my favorite plot line.
Okay. All right. You had somebody else that asked some questions?
Yeah. One of our fans, Jesse.
Okay.
Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Zach. Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks for answering our late call for questions, because we only gave him like 6 or 7 hours.
I actually messaged Jesse to see if he had any questions.
I asked my roommate, and he was like, I don't listen to your show.
What a dick.
Well, fuck Ryan. And you can tell him if you go to the shakedown.
Oh, shit.
He'll have contacts in. You'll know it's him.
So Jesse's questions are actually going to lead us into the
next section of the podcast.
Yep, SDCC stuff.
Okay.
He wants to know what they're possibly building to with Phase 4.
Okay. Without seeing any of it yet, it's we're gonna have a hard time like really pinpointing that. But with what little we have as far as information from the press conferences and stuff, and the stingers that we've got out of Spider-Man Far From Home and everything like that, little things from Captain Marvel and shit. I mean, there's definitely going to be a large cosmic component again.
Right.
Which is something that I thought they were going to get away from. Which I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I just don't want it to be a repeat of the first 3 phases.
Yeah, so I think what I read was some of the stuff Feige talked about at Comic-Con was that they were going to do there's going to be a large event that still connects everything. But it's going to take place they're going to take place quicker. So instead of spending 11 years building the Endgame, where you have Thanos finally come in.
So each phase will have
each
that?
phase will kind of have like a boss.
Okay.
So you'll have like think about it, maybe mini bosses in the movies leading up to each phase having a big boss.
Yeah, so I mean they're basically moving away from what they did in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, doing events whenever they came up, and doing events every year like they are now in the comics.
Yeah.
So like they built some of these things up for 2 or 3 years, or just didn't have one for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And they would have the annuals and everything like that to kind of have a big story, but like they didn't do the events every year. Now they're doing the events every year in the comics, so it seems like kind of that's what they're going towards with the phases. Every phase will have a big event, which makes sense. Get it over with faster.
Yeah, because you've already done the 11-year slow burn.
Right.
Like, now it's time to pump it out. And then when we get tired of that, go back to the 11-year slow burn.
Yeah, or just reboot, which, God, I don't.
In
20 years, when they completely reboot everything, I'm going to fucking, I don't know, still watch
it. Because you were also Disney's bitch.
Yep. Whoever owns it at that point.
I plan on being grown up by then.
Good luck with that.
I mean, I'll be in my 50s.
What was the next question?
Well, Nathan, did you have anything that you think they might be
Apparently
building
not. It wasn't important, so it's fine.
Do you have any thoughts about it? Sorry.
I don't know the question. I wasn't paying attention.
What might they possibly be building with Phase 4?
More superheroes.
Good answer. Good answer.
Probably mutants. Ka-chow.
I think
that's a Disney reference.
I think the primary component that we're going to see throughout Phase 4 is going to be the multiverse stuff.
So that's where they introduce the Fantastic Four.
Maybe. I think Fantastic Four, mutants, I think that's going to be Phase 5.
Yeah,
maybe they bring in them mutants from
going to be the end
a different
of Phase 4
universe of Marvel. Yeah. They've been stuck in.
Yeah, because we have
a Fox universe. If you will.
Yeah, we have a couple different things in the series that are going to lead us into multiverse stuff, and then Doctor Strange literally says multiverse in the title. So yeah. I think that's going to be a primary component, and then we'll probably get like a multi-dimensional big bad.
Dormammu's back.
And
he will not fucking bargain.
Nice.
His next question was, is making Doctor Strange 2 a horror film the best direction to take?
I think since there's another movie that they're making a genre movie that we're going to talk about in a little bit. I think that is the best one to do it with. I know Fox was going to do New Mutants, which sort of makes sense, sort of doesn't. If you were going to do something with mutants and make it a horror movie, I would do probably something to do with like Caliban hunting people, or maybe something with like Sabretooth or some of the more Wolverine end villains hunting someone.
Yeah.
Or Wolverine is gone berserk and he's hunting somebody, and that's the horror element. But the one that makes the most sense to do a horror movie in the MCU currently is definitely Doctor Strange. Yeah. Just because he deals with that kind of shit. You know, he deals with monsters and demons and magic and, artifacts that can kill you and are cursed and everything that all supernatural horror is. So, yeah. I mean, other than Blade, because they're bringing Blade in, that's the one that makes the most sense to make it a horror movie to me.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said.
Okay. What do you think?
Blade.
Yeah, I mean, Blade would
obviously, right?
Yeah,
it's
Blade
vampires.
Would make a ton of sense, too.
It's a fucking horror movie. Like,
yeah,
it's about
it's
vampires.
about vampires, so it makes a lot of sense, too.
It's not going to be about, like, the vampires that tried to steal, like, from the magical gnomes of, Wonderland. Like, it's...
Right. And I think...
Which I would watch.
So, and I think that's why you make Doctor Strange a horror movie first. I also think that's why you put Blade in Phase 5. Because you can't go from what we have to straight into
Right.
Blade. You need something to transition and be like, hey, this is kind of a direction we could take.
Yeah.
And give us that horror film in Doctor Strange, which multiverse of madness is Lovecraftian as fuck.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is far enough out that you could introduce in a stinger the fuck, I don't remember what it's called. The monsters good guy group. What the fuck is that called? It is the Legion of Monsters. I feel like an asshole for not being able to remember that. But it's got like
wow.
Yeah, it's got like Morbius.
We're gonna have to edit that.
Yeah,
because Chad will be disappointed.
Okay. Legion of Monsters. It has like Morbius, the Living Mummy. When Punisher was Frankencastle, he was part of the Legion of Monsters. You know, all those guys. Hannibal King. Blade works with them begrudgingly a lot because they have like kind of the same enemies. So,
hey, I seen these guys once though, for real, in a Doctor Strange Hulk cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, I did it.
That I liked that cartoon.
That was a good cartoon.
And that cartoon,
really
the Hulk characters are from that. Is it Hulk Smash? Or I don't remember what the name of the show was. Yeah, it was a really good show.
Netflix,
I liked
guys.
that a lot.
Netflix.
It's not on there anymore, I don't think.
Well, it was on Netflix, so check Disney Plus.
Yeah, check Disney Plus in a few months. I really liked that show. And I'm going to binge the shit out of whatever Marvel animated stuff, like full series or whatever, are on there when
it's gonna be
Disney
ridiculous.
Plus comes out.
But ultimately, I think that's why you put Blade in Phase 5 instead of trying to shoehorn it in here. Especially since the whole reason they're making it is because Marshala Ali called up and was like... So he just won whatever awards for the Green Book.
Didn't he win an Oscar?
Oscar, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what exactly the award he won was.
Was it best actor or best supporting actor?
Best supporting actor, I think probably best actor. But so, you know, he calls up the studio and Kevin Feige essentially said, yeah. And then at San Diego Comic-Con he said, when Mahershala Ali calls you, you take the call. When he wants to do the movie, you do the movie. And so that's another reason I think it's in Phase 5 as opposed to later, because they have an actor, they have like an established actor who's just coming off of winning awards that they're going to put in it, and that's just, I mean, that's studio bait right there.
Right. Let's see. What did he win? He won Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of Juan in the drama Moonlight 2016. We already had a Moonlight actor in something. What was that in? It was a kid. It was one of the Easter eggs. I don't remember what it was.
Hey, I did those.
Yeah.
No fucking clue.
He won Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor in Green Book. He won... I'm sure there's more. It says 7 awards, but then that's only like 3 or something. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Chad's questions. Chad had questions.
Our 3 fans.
Yep. That's all we got.
Yes, Chad did. Long-time listener, first-time caller. DQP, are you more excited for the new MCU movies or Disney Plus with TV shows / cartoons?
That's a hard question.
I can blow that question out of the water.
We'll blow it.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm excited for more MCU movies, but like my favorite person died. So like I am extremely...
Fuck it all.
Wait. Stan or Tony?
My 2 favorite people died
okay.
and will no longer be in any of the movies, and that just is fucking sad. But I'm super excited for Disney Plus for a lot of reasons. I love the platform idea. I love them having their own streaming service. I know it's going to hurt Netflix, and that kind of bothers me. But if anyone else is going to make the streaming service thing work, it's going to be Disney.
Right. It's cool, bro. We just get rid of Hulu and get Disney.
No, fuck Hulu.
Yeah.
Like, get your shitty ads out of my face.
Disney owns most of Hulu anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we get them both. All right.
So they get rid of Hulu. All right, they probably axe Hulu when they bring out Disney Plus.
No, they got like 2 Marvel shows going on that too. They're gonna buy enough of everything to control it and spread Marvel out all over everything and make us buy everything so that we're giving them literally all of our money.
You ruined it.
They're assimilating everything.
No, but I'm really excited for Disney Plus, and along with it is also going to come some Star Wars stuff that I'm excited to watch.
That's true.
So
yeah, because Disney Plus, it's not just Marvel shit, so that's not really fair either.
Yeah, but the kicker is I don't have to leave my house
right
to go to the theater to watch, which I like doing, but it is still a little extraneous.
Yeah.
Just opening the door and going outside.
Right. Especially when it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am really excited for Disney Plus. I'm ready for it to launch tomorrow.
I'm ready for more movies. I mean, like,
okay.
I am excited for Disney Plus, and I'm ready for the shows to like actually matter to the MCU, because that was one of my biggest complaints about the Netflix shows was that they were like, hey, this is all happening. Like, literally all those shows happen in 90% in New York, except for maybe a little bit of Iron Fist. And it's like, well, the incident happened, but it doesn't matter,
It should have.
And you never see any of the heroes, and they hardly ever talk about them. And then you never see anything about these guys in the other movies where, like, I feel like if those guys were operating in New York while Tony and or Spider-Man were there would have been interactions at the very least, but there weren't. So that was one of the things that I didn't like about the Netflix shows, and that I feel like is going to be awesome about the Disney Plus stuff. But I'm always excited for the huge budget blockbusters.
Okay, next question. He said, this question is also for Shane. Who will win in a fight, Captain Marvel or Adam Warlock? This is a comic book question that has nothing to do with the movies.
Which version of Adam Warlock?
I mean, I didn't get a rundown of what version we're getting here. So.
Does he have the Soul Stone? Has he been split from Magus? Or I can't remember what the third personality was.
Flex that comic muscle, Shane. Flex it.
Does he have a gauntlet that works or a gauntlet that doesn't work? Does he know that the gauntlet that he has doesn't work? There's so many questions that you have to ask when you do this, but no, he's going to kick her ass.
All right. Russell, set the parameters for that question, though.
All right. So neutral Adam Warlock after the split.
Completely neutral.
Because that's when he becomes the most Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
And then let's do post-annihilation Captain Marvel with the Quasar bands.
Ooh. Captain Marvel with the Quasar bands?
Yeah.
I'd have to say that, because god damn.
I think that's the most fair fight, because like you can't give Adam a stone, or you can't give Adam another stone.
Yeah,
like he has the one stone, but
right.
You have to give Captain Marvel something.
Yeah,
that's gonna
help.
That's gonna be equivalent.
That's gonna be that's a pretty close fight. But I think something about Adam Warlock is that he always finds a way to win, whereas like I don't know that Captain Marvel does. Like, a lot of times she, like, is more of, like, a leader, commander character. Right. She does, like, lead by example by, like, blowing ships up like a fucking space cannon.
Yeah.
Space bullet, yes.
Yeah, but
they weren't in hyperspace.
Right.
So it's okay.
Sure. I don't know. That's a tough one.
And Chad, if you have more questions, you feel free to email us draftyq@gmail.com as far as, anything other comic book related.
Yeah,
Shane will answer it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Me and Russell will take it down.
Oh, wow. Okay. A little bit more here. So they talked about having the Fantastic Four finally come to the MCU.
Yeah.
He wants us to give him our top picks if they made the movie tomorrow, who we would want to play each character. And here's his picks. Reed Richards would be Bradley Cooper or John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Sue Storm, Chloe Grace Moretz. Johnny Storm, Liam Hemsworth.
Okay.
And
that's okay.
The Thing, The Rock. Get it? And then he made a joke. So thanks, Chad,
God
for that. So Thing is The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, actually. I like Dwayne. I think he could maybe do that. I don't know about his voice acting, like, being gravelly, because that's what I would think. I would want somebody with, like, that can do a really nice gravelly voice.
Yeah.
Or has one. I'm casting Nathan as the Thing.
Okay.
It's from the Macho Man impression.
Yeah. Well, I haven't gotten to that part. I listened to like 75% of episode 16 today. I just like didn't get to that part.
That hurts.
I know.
Fuck.
I know.
I would totally play Thing.
But 100%.
I play with my Thing all the time.
Hey, there it is.
Coming.
John Krasinski as Reed.
Yes.
I think his wife as Sue makes the most sense.
Yes, Emily.
Emily Blunt. Johnny is like kind of a weird one because like there's a couple guys that I would have do it, but they already have parts or had parts. One of them used to do it before. The other one has the face of the somewhere between a Shar-Pei and a avocado.
Maybe like 20 years ago. No.
What? Not now?
No. Too old.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I know. That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like that's who he is now.
Yeah.
I mean the character was written to be him basically like before it happened. So
yeah.
it is.
Shit.
That's another one kind of like the Ultimates where they were like fan casting them. There was a frame in a Deadpool comic long before they ever talked about there being a Deadpool movie. Before they did the screen test with him doing the voiceover on the CG and shit. Before all that shit, where it said somebody said to him that he looked like Ryan Reynolds if he got his face burned off or something like that.
I think I have that in a graphic novel, actually. So
Yeah.
I'm going to flex my comic muscle.
There you go. I don't know who I would have do Johnny Storm.
So
I don't have anybody off the top of my head.
they wasted him, and I hate that they wasted him. I would have loved to have seen Aaron Taylor Johnson play Johnny Storm.
Yes. That would have been all right. Okay, Nathan has a good one apparently.
Zac Efron.
Hey.
Dude,
That's
he's chiseled from
actually awesome.
fucking granite, and you know it.
Actually
and
awesome.
you fucking love it. The guy is snarky.
Oh
Like,
my
he's
God.
perfect.
No, wait.
No, shut the fuck
No.
up.
No,
Don't take
no,
my
no,
thunder.
Yes. Yes.
If they have him play Johnny,
Oh.
then Dwayne has to play the Thing.
Oh my God.
That's not where I thought you were going.
I was gonna say Seth Rogen plays Thing.
No, well, he's got a. If they're probably going to do an origin story or at least have a flashback of it, so they have to have like the actual person play Ben Grimm.
Yeah, he's just a
Seth
stoner.
Rogen, he just
He's
like looks like a fucking stoner.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work for the Thing.
Picture his voice though.
Jesus Christ!
The whole time you're just
All right, Russell.
laughing.
What do you got?
All right. I'm almost on board with Zac Efron.
Dude, get on board.
Let's
I'm
make
buying you a
it.
pass.
Let's make it Decree Montgomery, Billy from Stranger Things instead. He's younger,
Okay.
and he's not. You're not going to look at him every time and go, Baywatch, 17 again. Fuck all these Zac Efron movies, and he's upcoming, and he's really fucking good.
Well, Hopper's playing Hellboy, so I guess he can't play
Probably
Thing.
not anymore.
But what if he was?
Is
what?
he?
I mean, that movie failed miserably.
So he's Thing.
Did he just? No.
I would totally have David Harbour be Ben Grimm.
I could do that.
Huh?
I could do that. My choice for Ben Grimm
Okay.
would be because I know
Hit us with
he's in movies, but and you can even do the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Vin Diesel.
I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah, because
It
like
doesn't hurt at all.
yeah,
so
because
I
he's
that,
like
yeah.
he's not. I mean, and he could even like talk to himself eventually.
Yeah, he's he's an amazing voice actor. He
Oh no.
he's got
Yeah.
like he can rock the bald thing for when they do the flashbacks.
Right.
And he has that like kind of like gravitas that Ben needs.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
And I also think he would play awesome on screen with John Krasinski. Because I'm on John Krasinski and Emily. Like if you cast
No,
anyone
100%.
else,
That's fine.
you're not convincing at this point. You are not convincing your MCU audience that anyone else is going to be able to pull off.
Marvel artists have already cast him as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
What if Johnny Storm was played by Dax Shepard? It still fits all the actor ages.
He's too old.
No. He's probably very similar to Emily Blunt's age.
He's supposed to be like or is he supposed
Come
to? I
on.
don't think he's supposed to be a twin.
Have you
They're supposed to be
ever
younger.
watched Dax Shepard in a movie?
Yes.
He's got all the tattoos. He's big into racing, the cars. He could be the Human Torch.
maybe like 5 years ago. Not in 5 years.
Maybe like 5 minutes from now when the movie gets announced.
I want
you know what
Dax
I mean? That's what I'm
Shepard.
saying.
I want Dax Shepard to play Danny Ketch.
Ghost Rider.
Yes.
That
Okay.
would make sense too.
I did tweet him that once, and he liked it. And that was my
Your
that was
claim
my
to fame.
shining Twitter moment right there.
out of every, so he could also pull off an old Peter Parker. I think, like old out of shape.
Wouldn't you have
Well,
him
not
be
really out of
Johnny?
shape, but
He said Terry Crews as the thing. Thanks, Chad, for that visual. Well, he's obviously going to be He-Man.
Yeah, I love Terry Crews, but I don't know about him being Ben. It's like there's a very particular thing that I want from Ben, and that's why I didn't think Dwayne would work. But like
see, I don't think Dwayne works. It's a joke. But
yeah, his chemistry with Zac Efron though, if we had Zac Efron be Johnny,
Human Torch.
would be very good. But we also have to have somebody that can do a very, very New York accent.
Right.
Which
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
No, like that's where I come back to Vin Diesel.
It's great.
Yeah.
But Hopper still. So
Yeah, no, I mean,
either
like,
one of those guys could.
David Harbour could do it too.
He could be Thing.
He very
Yeah,
easily
he-
could be,
he
and
could.
he would work very well for the flashbacks, or if they did the actual origin.
Yeah.
He would work very well for that part. Too.
Yeah, he'd work. I could watch that. I also just really like him.
Yeah.
Like he's fun to watch in the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. So
All right. Okay.
I'm like a lamp.
All right.
Got all this shade.
So you got more?
No,
Or
I
you gonna
think I'm
just
done
rehash?
casting.
All right. Did we have any more questions? Was that it?
Nope. Chad had 3.
That was all the questions.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, so we're going to get to the San Diego Comic-Con recap. There were tons of huge announcements for Phase 4 and beyond. So we're going to talk about that right now. I've got these in release order. It includes movies and Disney+. Starting with Black Widow in May of 2020.
Fucking finally.
Yes. I mean, we've been calling for this movie to happen longer than we've been making this podcast. And it got confirmed somewhere while we've been making it. I wish it would have happened while Black Widow is still alive.
Yeah.
I wish it was in continuity, happened on, I want her to still be around for one thing, and I wish this was the first female fronted Marvel movie.
It should have been.
It should have been, because she was in so much and she meant so much to the MCU, and they were just like, I don't know if it can happen, and then they're like, well, we need Captain Marvel, let's do it. fuck Black Widow. Like, no, fuck you.
It should have came directly after Avengers, if not before that.
Or just a combination of Black Widow and Hawkeye together in a movie would have been fine.
Yeah, just bill her first.
Yeah, you
and
have to bill her first, though.
Her, be the more of her than of Hawkeye. Make him more of a supporting actor. But anyway,
it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's sort of a prequel. It happens. When did you say it happens? For sure happens.
It happens in between Civil War and Infinity War.
Okay. I read something that said it was going to explain Budapest, which I'm happy about that. It also is supposed to have Taskmaster in it.
Yes.
I actually read like a synopsis of the trailer they showed, because they showed a bunch of footage for a couple things that we don't get to see until much later, because Comic-Con is they actually make shit exclusive for Comic-Con. So it's not out on YouTube the next day. If it goes out on YouTube the next day from somebody's cell phone footage, it gets taken down immediately, so the shit doesn't spread that easily. Anyway, they talk about Taskmaster quite a bit in this little synopsis. He has the mask. He has the shield with his emblem on it. Like, it's actually fucking Taskmaster. I don't know if he has a cape, but they're getting about as close as closer than I thought they would to his actual fucking
right.
Comic costume. So I'm cool with that. There's also apparently a part where him and Black Widow are fighting, and they are moving similarly, which just, yes.
Yeah.
If Taskmaster actually works like Taskmaster and isn't just a random mercenary, fuck yeah, perfect.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Taskmaster basically has an eidetic memory, and he can mimic everything that he sees. So while he's fighting someone, he learns how they fight, and he can fight accordingly, like either to counter them or to completely copy them.
Okay.
So that's like his power.
It's totally going to be stolen Stark tech, isn't it? Because that's what Tony does in the Civil War.
Can we not fucking do that in every goddamn movie?
But he just did it.
I mean, no.
I don't want it to be.
I don't want it to be. I want him to be the first mutant.
Where do you think Thor's mighty
belt
belt
came from? Can he be the
from?
fucking first mutant, please?
I thought that was Apocalypse.
No, I mean the first mutant in the MCU.
In the first appearance.
That's all I've got on Black Widow. Anything else you guys want to talk about on that?
I'm just really excited for it. I'm glad that Scarlett Johansson is coming back for something.
Yeah.
And I think she's not. Never mind. I almost said I think she's going to have parts in Hawkeye, but that wouldn't make sense.
I mean, flashbacks, baby.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or if they fix it.
If
they bring a past version of her back.
Something. I just hope that she's seen the fallout from Endgame and realize like how much she means to us fans.
I saw something that said someone asked her about it, and she was very upset that it took her dying in Endgame basically for her to get a movie.
Yeah.
Which,
so are we.
I'm upset about it too.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So fall of 2020, we start getting the Disney Plus shows Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm super excited about this one, mostly because I love the chemistry that these guys have particularly in Civil War, but also in Endgame.
Yes.
But there was something that I read recently, since this is Tuesday, and all the stuff was on Saturday, right?
I think so.
In the last couple days, I read an article that said they announced that the main villain, at least of the first season, will be Baron Zemo. And Baron Zemo will be in his in a comic book accurate costume. So we're going to have that little smarmy motherfucker running around in a purple hood with a crown with lines on it. Hopefully it gets melted to his face. Fuck yes. I want to watch this show right now.
And Daniel Gruhl is returning.
Yeah. Which,
So-
I mean, that's okay. Like, he's got a great voice and, like, can get a lot across with his voice.
Yeah.
That's something that he did in that movie.
Right.
Because he was kind of, like, dead in the face, but, like, it worked because that was the character. But he got a lot of emotion and, like, acting in with his voice, and I think he could do that with the mask on, and
Yeah.
it would work out. You're not super excited for this?
No.
Okay.
I am glad that they chose to do this as a series
Oh, yeah.
as opposed to a movie, because you're going to get a lot more buddy interactions throughout the
Yes.
series.
Instead of, like, 2 or 3 times where they have that joke, it's going to be a lot. And I feel like that's going to make it really good.
Yeah. I'm also curious as to see, so at the end of Endgame when Cap comes back and he's old and he gives them the shield, theoretically he might be from an alternate timeline. Theoretically maybe they fucked up and he's in that timeline, whatever. But I'm also interested to see if they do anything with that. If there's at least, maybe one guest appearance from Chris Evans as old Cap.
Yeah.
Just
Or he's
them
just like
being
our regular character. He's like their neighbor now.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
He's just like hanging out next. So what'd you guys do today? It's like we kicked Zemo's ass again, brother.
I wanted a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
I'm happy for a series, but I just,
You're happy you're getting something at least.
yeah, I just wanted a movie.
I also we don't know the format of these series.
Right.
So like that actually, and I just
Are we
now
getting
thought
one a
about
week?
that.
Are we getting a couple a quarter? Is it going to be like Black Mirror where it's like 3 episodes a season?
Yeah. Is it going to be, are they going to be, 42 minutes? Are they going to be 60 minutes? Are they going to be an hour and a half?
Half hour? What is it?
Yeah.
I imagine
didn't
the
think about that
animated
till just
one is
now.
going to be half hour. It's going to be a 23-minute or half-hour series. I imagine these are going to be like most dramatic shows where they're 45 minutes to an hour and 6 minutes, depending.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's 10 episode seasons, though.
Yeah, 8 to
Right?
10, I would hope.
Like, I don't want them to do the 23, like, hey, there's a shit ton of filler. Like, hey, they go to the beach
That
this
depends.
episode.
That depends, because we asked for that. We asked for that shit. Okay? We wanted the fucking beach episodes. We want the Christmas episode. If we get it through Disney Plus, I'm okay with it.
Deadpool
Okay.
Christmas.
Yeah.
We did ask for it.
Well,
We did.
Yes,
we did
that's
literally
true.
fucking ask for this shit.
Okay, we did ask for that. I just mean I don't want like the
You don't want the quality to suffer because they made 23
yeah,
episodes.
I don't. I want
and then they had to stretch the budget out.
if the story is 10 episodes, do 10 episodes. If
Yeah.
the story's 13 episodes, do 13 episodes.
I would be okay if they did 23 episodes if it was like the really good seasons of Supernatural. Brought it in. Thank you. Where, you've got probably 12 episodes that have to do with the story and a
Yeah.
few lines in every episode, and then the other 13 or 10 or 11 or whatever episodes are basically like your one-shot comic books where,
Right.
they foil a bank robbery or they argue over something or they get in a fight with each other and then they have to bring it back together to fight some random C-list villain.
Yeah.
Shit like that. I'm okay with that. If it turns into basically having a subscription to live action comic books, sign me the fuck up.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm down.
All right. So then in November of 2020, we're supposed to get the Eternals. I don't know enough shit about the Eternals.
I'm good.
I just heard Angelina Jolie signed on for it.
Yes.
So I'm really worried about this movie. Out of all of the movies, out of everything we have lined up here, like the Eternals is the one that worries me the most because they fucked up the Inhumans so badly that the first season didn't finish airing.
Yeah.
Now they're going to make a movie about a group of people who are very similar in structure and storytelling and tone,
Yeah. But are even more like
but are
niche.
even more niche and further away from that human aspect that draws an audience.
right.
Now furthermore, you cast Angelina Jolie as the lead character, which I don't have a problem with Angelina Jolie.
Kind of sounds like you do.
I don't. It depends on what the movie is. There are some movies I enjoy her in. This character that do you ever?
I love Hackers.
Hackers is good. That's before she became too aware of herself. So I'm not calling her out. What is her character's name?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't have any notes for this.
Remember her name?
Or what is it?
Eternals.
Eternals. I don't know what an Eternal is.
So we should probably cover what Eternals are.
Is it?
Go ahead.
Is it like that Disney movie?
Eternals are Thanos' race. But although the Eternals that we're going to see in the movie are more human-like than Thanos, because Thanos carries a deviant gene. So there's the Celestials, and the Celestials came to Earth and brought the Eternals, and they also sort of, depending on which thing you listen, or depending on which thing you read, the Celestials also like created a gene and gave it to humans and created a race of deviants. And so then they brought the Eternals to Earth, and the Eternals were supposed to watch over the humans. So, from the deviants. Thanos is an Eternal with that deviant gene in him.
He's basically their mutant.
Yeah, their first mutant. Who ends up being the Mad Titan. So, but there's some really good Eternals stuff. But there's also some really dark Eternals stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all almost pretty much all of it's dark.
Yeah.
Because it's fucked up. Like their entire existence is fucked up, and they like when the humans start to mutate and develop powers, they fall into this weird depression because their purpose is done. Like they have no purpose left, because initially their purpose was to protect people.
I think they just like all died last year.
Yeah, they all killed themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed themselves. Yeah, it was even darker than that. Sorry.
Yeah.
They all killed themselves.
Yeah. So my worry with this movie is that you have an audience who just is not going to be prepared for this.
Possibly.
Like, even
I don't
if you
think they're
do
going to
it
go
right,
that dark, though.
I
don't think they will.
I don't think so either, but they really need to deal with the aspects of like what happens with a race of people who are immortal and don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
Because that's really where they need to draw it from.
Okay, so Angelina Jolie as Thena, Richard Madden
Thena.
as Icarus, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo. I don't know Kingo. I know Thena and Icarus. Salma Hayek as Ajax. I didn't know Salma Hayek was in it. Lauren Ridloff as Makari. Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos. Leah McHugh as Sprite. And Don Lee as Gilgamesh. So, like, of those, I know, like, 4 characters.
Oh, what the fuck is his name? Fox. Something Fox.
Star Fox?
Star Fox. Is he not going to be in it?
Apparently not. He was probably
How the fuck?
He was probably too problematic of a character, Russell. His power is literally rape.
I mean,
he's literally a walking roofie.
You change that.
Well, okay.
But so how are you going to do, but see, that's...
Ted Bundy was Star Fox.
No, his power is literally that he has pheromones where he can make you fall in love with him and do whatever he wants.
Zac
and
Efron.
He often uses them to bang chicks.
Zac Efron.
Or dudes.
/ Ted Bundy plays him. It's already been done. Netflix already did it.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably work, actually. Zac Efron as Star Fox.
Yeah, I mean, that would kind of work. Okay, so Angelina Jolie lead role. So she's even billed as the lead role over Icarus, which is weird because Icarus is the leader of the Eternals. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But I don't know how you're going to do this Eternals movie without Star Fox, Thanos' actual brother.
Yeah.
Because, like, that, I mean, that, what?
His other name is Eros of Titan, so, like, he didn't have that name either. That name wasn't in there.
Yeah. So, that, I don't know. I'm just really worried
Maybe
about
they
this
just haven't
movie.
cast him yet.
Maybe. Hey, if you're listening, Zac Efron.
Yeah, make a Zac Efron. Make him a little less rapey.
Yeah, a little less rapey.
What? I mean, they probably should. If they put him in the movie, they should probably make him less rapey. All right. The next movie is February of 2021, and I'm kind of excited for this.
Yes.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
And the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes.
It's going to have a real fucking Mandarin in it.
Yes.
Hell yes. They did cast Shang-Chi. I looked it up earlier, but you got a question, bud? Who's Shang-Chi?
Yeah, why is a Mortal Kombat character in this? I know he's not a Mortal Kombat character.
It's Shang Tsung.
Yeah,
I was surprised they were making a Shang-Chi movie.
I don't know, because it makes sense, because you had Iron Fist, and then you had pissed off fans who were claiming that Iron Fist
was whitewashed.
Claimed that Iron Fist was whitewashed, which he wasn't.
The character itself was a white guy,
right?
So this is a thing. Like the first thing I saw when I looked this up was comments on posts basically saying they better not whitewash it, and it's like, well, this character is literally of Chinese descent. If they whitewashed it, that would actually be whitewashing. If you're comparing it to Iron Fist, the whitewashing happened when the character was created, but it wasn't a Chinese person played by a white person. That's what whitewashing is.
Right.
If anything, it was, is it called white savior? There's another trope where a white person goes into a different culture society and basically saves it from either some external force or from itself.
Yeah.
And that is another trope that is problematic. Agreed. And that was kind of what the original origin of Iron Fist was.
Right.
But it was not whitewashing because he was never mixed
also,
or a different nationality. He was white.
Yeah, and I mean, I also feel like it is kind of white saviory, but it's also fish out of water.
Right.
Like,
it was multiple things. It wasn't just white savior, but if you were going to call it anything, that is the closest
that would be
negative trope that it could be associated with.
Right. So I think it makes sense that they're doing Shang-Chi. I really like the idea of them doing it. The Mandarin, I don't believe, was a Shang-Chi villain. Like,
I'm pretty sure they've faced each other, but he was definitely originally a Iron Man villain.
Yeah. So I think it's really cool that they brought this villain in for Shang-Chi. And I'm excited to see how that plays out. I'm excited to see if there are any references to the Ten Rings that we have already heard about in the MCU, and I hope that they kind of tie all that up. I hope that through this movie they tie up whatever the fuck was going on with Killian and his fake Mandarin and the small video that said the Mandarin was actually still out there. And I want all that tied up and handled with this movie if you're going to bring the Ten Rings in and bring the Mandarin out of hiding.
Ah, shit. I should just be looking this shit up on IMDb because they already have it all fucking on here. So apparently Aquafina is going to be in this. Simu Liu is going to be Shang-Chi. There's a picture of him. Works for me.
Yeah. He's in something that we know. I can't remember what it was.
Taken? No, that's the TV show. I don't know. I'm not going to go through his shit right now. And Tony Leung is going to be Mandarin. I'm sure he's going to be made
yeah.
to look older.
Yeah. Oh no, he's in something that
I think they both are, because I recognize him too. I recognize both of them. But yeah, like I'm excited for that movie because I love like kung fu movies. I used to watch the shit out of like all the Jackie, like old
do we
Jackie
know that
Chan
it's gonna
and
be
stuff.
Like genrealized like that?
I don't know if it's going to be a genre movie, but like we said earlier, like his original book was Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, right?
Right.
So if it's not a kung fu movie, it should at least have a lot of great fight choreography in it.
Yeah.
Because that's literally like the main thing about the character is that he's a fucking master fighter.
I want him to climb a tower, defeating somebody on every level as the opening scene.
Well, okay. I mean, that's already a movie, but whatever.
Well, it's just the first 5 minutes. It's just him like working his way through the tower.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Any thoughts on that, Nathan? No. Okay. In spring of 2021, we are getting WandaVision. I'm interested in seeing how they figure this out since, Vision's dead and shit.
Yeah. I think this is going to be tough.
I'm also curious as to how this show is going to work out because like I wasn't like a huge fan of some of the Wanda and Vision parts in like Infinity War and stuff. Like some of it was really good and some of it wasn't. So I think their parts before that were better in like Age of Ultron and stuff.
Yeah.
And Civil War.
I think it's going to open with Wanda and Vision in a house in the suburbs and a white picket fence, and their 2 kids on the lawn playing.
And then it cuts to her in a padded room.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're moving on to spring of 2021. Is also going to be the Loki show on Disney Plus.
Fuck yes.
Which stems from the Endgame scene where he gets the Tesseract and goes away. So this is going to be like an alternate timeline, I'm guessing. I'm curious how that's going to work.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this because like I have no fucking clue what you even do with this.
Yeah, how they're going to make it work. May of 2021, we are getting Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently it's going to be a horror movie. It's going to have Scarlet Witch in it.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this being completely bonkers ass crazy.
Yes.
But also like suspenseful.
They did confirm too that the WandaVision series will
lead into this
Doctor Strange.
Sweet.
So I that's kind of where I was going with
her being
I
crazy
think
and he's gonna like bring her out of it.
Yeah, and she's like losing her shit. Like maybe she opens up a rift into the multiverse and Doc is like, what the fuck is this? And then they find the Cancerverse and
well, they already hinted at that in Thor 2. But,
yeah.
Summer of 2021, the What If animated show is going to debut on Disney Plus. I'm pretty excited for that just because it's going to give us like another animated show to watch. I really like the Marvel animated TV shows.
Yes.
The old Avengers, not old, like mid-2000s Avengers show was really good. I wish that had kept going, but it was getting dangerously close to taking all the material that they were using for the movies.
Yeah, and ultimately that's why I got canned. I think this What If series should be serial, not posted all at once. Just because, like, you're going to be able to get away with doing that with this a lot better. Like,
because it's going to be contained.
Yeah, give us an episode a week for 52 weeks.
Fall of 2021, we were getting Hawkeye, and it will also introduce Kate Bishop. The logo they showed is also the logo for the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye, which was kind of character defining, kind of brought him more in line with the MCU version of Hawkeye. Gave like a lot of like personal detail about Hawkeye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Widely considered to be one of the best runs of that character.
Kate Bishop is a character or an actor?
Character.
Oh.
She's the female Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking forward to the Hawkeye thing at all?
So no
Nathan?
Jeremy Renner?
No, it's going to have Jeremy Renner in it. But it's going to introduce this other character. I don't remember how she starts out, but I don't remember if she's
Probably
a SHIELD agent
things.
or if she was like an assassin or something.
Okay.
I don't remember. But she ends up becoming a female Hawkeye. She takes over for him when he's Ronin at some point.
They could put that
yeah, they could like
right in the middle
retcon
of
that basically as like Endgame.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Or middle to end.
Right.
And
That's in the fall of 2021. In November of 2021, this one I'm kind of worried about. Thor: Love and Thunder. So apparently, I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not, but some of the other things that have been confirmed about it lead me to believe this is accurate. People are saying that it's supposed to be a rom-com. I don't like rom-coms. So, I mean, I know I'm not the only person that they're making these movies for, but I feel like I am sometimes.
But is it going to be like a typical rom-com, or is it going to be like a rom-com like Guardians of the Galaxy is a rom-com?
But that's the thing that we've always like talked about in all these movies, even in the movies where it does have a little bit more to do with it, where all the romantic angles are kind of in the background. They're not the main part of the movies.
Right.
Where like it is important to like, the Gamora and Star-Lord stuff is important, but that's not really even like a third subplot of those movies. It's like the fifth or sixth subplot. The Thor movies, I mean, the last Ragnarok was more of like a buddy movie than anything else. There was no like real romantic angle in that. There were in the first two, but I mean they weren't huge. It was like, hey, these characters have chemistry, but we're not like, they fuck in the second act and then she's in trouble or in the first act and then she's in trouble in the second act and he saves her in the third act or anything like that. So I'm kind of concerned about it. Jane Foster is supposed to get Mjolnir. Natalie Portman's coming back to apparently play Thor, female Thor. I still don't like that they call her Thor because it's his name. She gets the power of Thor when she picks up the hammer. She should have her own name.
Right.
But whatever. That's what they called her.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm going to watch it regardless.
Oh, yeah, for sure I'm going to watch it. The logo is fucking dope. It's like old school, like chrome letters, metallic, non-metallic metal kind of chrome painted leathers, like almost like a airbrushed Motorhead shit. Or what was that movie? Fire and Ice, the old animated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like
From
that's
the
kind of
70s.
what the logo. Yeah, that's how the logo made me feel.
Yeah.
But so I'm really excited to see Natalie Portman come back and Jane Foster get the hammer. But I don't want it to take away from Thor's character to make room for that.
Yeah.
Which is like a large part of the concern. And I get that because you can pull this movie off where like they have to basically, she gets the hammer one way or another and then they're like a team working together, which is what I want to see. He's got Stormbreaker, she has Mjolnir, and she gets the hammer and then she's like, I'm Thor now.
Yeah.
And he's like, Yeah.
No.
I'm Thor.
That's my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that would be great if they do like kind of address that as like a joke, but like she still goes by Thor. And like I think an interesting way to go about it would be for her to basically take up the mantle, I guess, of Thor, even though it's not really a mantle.
Right.
And if they were going to move forward with her being Thor beyond this one movie, then she gets the Thor movies, and then you start calling his movies Odin's son.
Yeah.
You know, if he has more movies. What do you think about that?
I don't need an excuse to watch Natalie Portman in a movie.
No, I don't think
awesome,
anyone does.
And I think watching her beat some like people's asses is going to be even more awesome.
And I've seen a lot of people talk about how they don't think that she can pull off an authoritative figure, but like she's easily the best part of the episodes 1, 2, and 3 in Star Wars.
I know. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but being the best part of a turd sandwich is still being shit covered white bread.
Well, that's what?
Anyway, there's only one person's acting who sucks in those first 3 movies for the most part.
Everyone's.
Oh God, we're gonna argue over Star Wars so much when we do this.
Yep.
Chad, we need you for this podcast.
But
you're our only hope.
I think she was great.
That got him.
I think she was great as Queen Amidala, and I think she will be able to.
No,
pull
that was
this
Keira
role
Knightley
off.
that you liked.
That's the one that dies in episode 1. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I
just learned something.
I'm interested. You didn't know that she was in it?
Didn't know.
They looked exactly the same when they were like 16.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I'm one of those people that doesn't think that she can like pull off the superhero thing. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think she's got it.
Because, like, I mean, there's even, like, you know, she doesn't look like Jane when she's Thor. She's, like, she looks like fucking, what's her fuck? Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, so my big
Thanks
worry.
for the Crimson Ring plug. I appreciate that. And you can catch us on the DQPN network there.
What? Whenever the fuck Russell decides to edit the episode.
We're also on YouTube. We just found that out. So
like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I am still worried about this movie. My biggest worry with this movie is that they're bringing back Taika Waititi for the directing. Because after rewatching Ragnarok,
yep. I still
it's not in my top 5.
I still enjoy that movie, but it is definitely not the great movie that I felt it was when I left the theaters.
Yeah, and I just like if
What?
you're gonna bring him back.
Nathan's looking at it. It's like we just stabbed him in the back.
Dude, is Korg gonna be in it?
Probably.
I hope.
Yeah.
He's sold on this movie.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't until I heard about all this. I was kind of, and now I'm completely sold. Imagine that. It's Jane and Korg just running around, fucking shit up.
I mean,
That'd
I'd
be
watch
awesome.
that.
Yeah, see? You guys are on it, too. It's cool.
I'm gonna watch it. I love Thor. All right, so the next thing, 2 more things. Blade, they do not have a date for. We're assuming it's going to be Phase 5. They cast Mahershala Ali as Blade. That's pretty much the news about that one. It is coming up in maybe 3 years away. Apparently, Wesley Snipes reacted, basically saying, "Hey, congrats, man. I didn't know if they were going to call me or not, blah, blah, blah." That was about it. Something about welcome to the Daywalkers Club. The motherfucker's still high as fuck all the time, apparently. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of cool that, he was at least supportive.
Yeah, he was cool
as
about
opposed to
it.
being
At
a
least
dick.
publicly, he was cool about it. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I know we talked about in our group chat that we wanted him to come play Whistler, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because that would be
cool.
awesome.
Because he just show up as Blade.
Yeah, because he would just be like, "I'm
He'd be
Blade." Be like, "God damn it, Wesley, don't do this to us again.
I'm too fucked up to play this role.
Yeah.
So, I was super happy to hear about his casting.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah. Because prior to that, I was like, you're not going to replace Wesley Snipes. Like, you can't replace him in my head as who I'm going to see as Blade. And then they said it, and I seen it, and I was like,
oh,
what?
Shit. Yeah. Okay, maybe you will.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm super excited about him. I loved him in Luke Cage. I thought that was like the biggest mistake in all of the Netflix shows was killing him off halfway through that first season.
Yes.
He was an amazing villain in that, and he should have been the villain for 2 seasons, not fucking whatever the fucking chick that's in like fucking everything now. I can't remember her name. She started Civil War.
She's also in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Anyway, I don't mind her as an actress. I didn't think she was a good villain in Luke Cage. Mahershala Ali's character, Cottonmouth, was way better.
Yes. Fantastic.
I liked Luke Cage.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the first season. I liked a lot, except for the Diamondback stuff. And then the second season I thought was better than the first season, except it didn't have Cottonmouth in it.
So with this Blade movie, I guess this would be a perfect time that Marvel Studios announced that they are in talks with Keanu Reeves to bring him into the MCU
To play Dracula.
prior to Comic-Con, and yes. Please,
Dracula.
for the love of God, I want to see him play Dracula opposite Mahershala Ali in probably the second Blade movie. Maybe they introduce him at the end of the first one as like the stinger.
Phase 5, Big Bad, turns a bunch of mutants into vampires.
Fuck. Yes.
Because that's a real storyline that happened. I can't remember what it's called, but like Jubilee actually stays a vampire for like 4 years or something. Like Cyclops and shit, all of them were fucking vampires. There was an earlier storyline where he tried to turn them into vampires and they stopped him, and then there's a what if where he does and Wolverine kills him and becomes the Lord of the Vampires and takes over New York.
That's cool. I'm digging that.
Yeah. So after they announced Blade, that was pretty much it. And then basically as like a, hey, we're getting off the stage here, they basically confirmed like every fucking thing else that's going to be Phase 5 and beyond, including X-Men, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, among other things. There was one particularly pertinent quote in saying, this is paraphrased a little bit because I don't think I wrote down the exact quote, but mutants will be different from earlier iterations, meaning the Fox mutants. So I'm hoping they go the way that we were talking about earlier and making it more comic book accurate instead of less, because going the other way is going to piss me off.
Are they going to keep Deadpool?
As far as I know, they have said that they were going to keep Deadpool.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Ryan Reynolds tweeted that he was the only safe actor from Fox or something like that, but I don't know if it's a joke.
Yeah, because everything he says is a fucking joke, even when it's serious.
It's all a work, brother.
Yeah. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, we know that Fantastic Four and X-Men are coming. We knew all those other movies were coming because, I mean, they're going to keep those franchises going. They're already going. But the big ones, they're going to restart again, Fantastic Four and X-Men. Hopefully, since it's going to be Marvel and Disney handling it, it's going to be better than it was when it was on Fox. I mean, everything else has been better since they started doing it. The only thing that was really good and never got really terrible was Blade. So we'll see if they fix that, if they make that better first, which I think it'll be really good with Mahershala Ali in it. So
all right.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this surprisingly long-winded episode of DQP Does the MCU. And we're going to come back next week with our first episode of a non-MCU DQP Does, where we're going to start doing...
What?
Yeah. We're going to do not comic book movies for a little bit.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. You're very obviously upset in all of these
so
podcasts.
So ready to give my rating system a try.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to change it up?
Letting it fly.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Next week, we are going to be going over Blade Runner. And then we're going to continue for a couple movies in that cyberpunk dystopian future vein. And then we're going to do other genres, probably in trilogies, maybe just pairs, maybe longer series. We don't know. We're going to continue to do comic book movies at some point. We're going to do the old ones. We're going to do new MCU movies and the Disney shows, I'm sure, when they come out. So...
Yeah, but probably nothing in that big of a series. More like in groups of 3 or in the series.
Yeah, we're not
going
to do
series. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah, we're not
going to
do. Yeah, we're not going to do any 20 lengths of 23 or anything again, because there really isn't anything like that.
Well, until we go to the Fast and the Furious trilogies.
Fuck off with that shit.
Star Wars is going to end up being what? 12 movies. 9
it's
movies.
Going to be 9. Was it next year or this year?
Well, it's
this year.
Is it 9? Because
well,
you got
the main sagas.
Rogue One.
Yeah, those are side movies.
Solo movie.
All the movies will do 11. So those will be later in the year.
Solo was garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that at some point in time, but not today.
Not today.
And Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie ever.
I can't wait to
There's
do the
only
Indiana
one Return.
Jones. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Return of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They go back to the Temple of Doom in an arc.
So to close this one out, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of Frank Castle. Your mama's gonna be 0 for 2 on open caskets.
Welcome to the Outtakes. I'm Russell, and I'll be your host.
Yeah.
Outtake 1.
Yeah. I tried to get away from the mic, and
it came through.
I was like, what the fuck? It's like a dog growl.
I'd like to introduce you to our new guest, Trumpet.
Shane's guts.
You could have made a Trump joke on that one, too.
Our new fake podcast, Trumping the Trumpet.
It's just audio of
porn?
Shane farting.
No, it's 5 people sitting around farting, trying to fart louder than the other person.
Yeah, all dressed as Donald Trump.
Okay,
well,
there you
dressed
go.
as Donald Trump.
It's a video podcast.
All right, so edit? I mean, I don't know, maybe.
If anything,
I mean, that goes
save
at the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
this is an outtake.
Thank you for
Welcome
listening to
to
our
the
podcast.
outtake.
Welcome to the outtakes.
So then my next favorite moment.
Oh my God, you should host the outtakes on every podcast.
Like it's its own podcast?
Yeah, but it's at the end of every podcast.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to just make your intro and outro piece,
like-
and then we'll tag them on. Everybody that edits them, we'll tag them on.
It's great.
It's like, hey guys, welcome to the DQP Does Outtakes, and then
I'm your
hey,
host,
have a good
Russell.
night. Yeah.
I like it. Outtake 2.
Yeah.
The
this
point
is
that
wait,
I was
wait. This is an invalid argument if Cassie's not on the podcast to defend Peter because she lawyered that shit.
No, but
Are you gonna start this argument and then just bleep it out, and then I'll come back with like, anyway?
Oh my god, that's
no.
genius.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, we can maybe do that. I was gonna clarify. So okay, let me restart. So there's a good starting point for edits. Outtake 3.
Yeah.
I'll just say it when he comes back. Well, that way he knows in case he wants to respond.
We do ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I hope this is on the outtakes. Cheese stick. Oh.
Are you Hulk eating a cheese stick?
Hawk smash cheese stick. Where Hawk marinara?
This has been the Outtakes. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.
Yeah.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.